Hello and welcome to Loving Me, Myself, and Life with me, Jody Misiak. This is my first recording of this podcast since I've been back from my yoga teacher training retreat. I had so many recorded ahead of time, so this is new and fresh after my beautiful yet challenging adventure. And I have so much to share of different things I've learned personally and just, oh wow, just so much. However, while getting ready today, I had this other thought cross my mind, and I really want to share it with you today because I feel like it needs to be talked about. And if you got your hopes up when I said, I want to share my journey, don't worry, there'll be more like later down the line. But today, I really feel like I need to share this idea that we need to do so much. So while I was getting dressed today, I was just thinking about the things I was saying no to lately and the things I was saying yes to. And what did that mean to me? Like am I saying yes to the things that light me up and no to the things that don't? I was really trying to find this thing because a really fascinating thing has happened. And maybe you're aware, I don't know. So over the past few years, when everything closed up, we were told we couldn't hang out with people and, we couldn't interact with people in person. So a lot of things weren't happening, right? We didn't have to say yes to everything because there wasn't much to say yes to, which that alone caused some crappiness, right? Like it sucked. Let's be honest, it sucked. But it also allowed us to have our plates less full. And I know I've talked to so many people and they were so happy about not having to have all these obligations, right? We sometimes say yes to things because they're obligations and we feel we have to. But then we got to breathe this sign of relief. It's like, we have less to do. Now I have 2 kids, so I was constantly busy. I was like happy busy though. But now I'm finding that everything's open and we're really like, they've opened the floodgates again and everything's operating at max capacity again. I am constantly reminding myself that I don't want to live on full capacity, like my schedule. I'm talking about my schedule because I want to live fully in love and on my capacity, but not what society and the world has told me I need to do. I hope that makes sense. Maybe you understand. So it just was these thoughts I had because there was this workshop that showed up. And I really wanted to go, and it was about parenting and things like that. And I was really excited, but it landed on a day that I have closed off for myself because my husband takes the kids to an activity that night. So I know I have like 2 hours to myself. And I've made a commitment to do that because it's only going to last for a few weeks, possibly a couple months at the most, that it lands there on that same day. So I've been really that is my time and not worrying about doing more things for my work and things because I can easily, being an entrepreneur and then working from home, the lines can really cross. So I can be like, the house is empty. I'm going to go record podcasts or, I could fill it up with anything. And honestly, there's always something to be done around the house. So I'm like, I could do laundry. I could do the dishes. Like, there's so many different things, right? But I've made a commitment to take that time for me. But then I was feeling like, crap, should I not have gone? Like just for a split second. And that's what I was thinking about today. Because I'm sure a lot of people showed up to this thing. And I'm just like, did I make the right choice? Only for a split second there. But then it got me thinking about how we feel this need to be doing everything. And I had to remind myself that I missed a workshop about parenting, but I know one thing for sure that helps me be a better parent is taking time for me. When I don't recharge my own batteries, when I don't take care of my needs, I am more growly, I'm angry, I'm frustrated more, and I don't tap into this intuition I have. Like most of the time, like if I'm grounded and I'm taking care of me, I can actually see what's going on with my children by just looking at them, their body language, their face, their expressions. And I can just really tap into that. But if I'm not centered and grounded myself, I miss so many cues. And then I'm growly. And I don't like being growly. I don't know if you like being growly, but I don't like being growly. So it got me thinking about like just filling things up. And I remember talking to a friend yesterday. This is probably what's kind of coming up for me as I was, just kind of replaying some things in my brain, because that's what I do. And just asking myself questions, just checking in kind of thing. And because we also have this, I'd like to say rule, kind of really a boundary, that we only put so much on weekends. So like if we already have like an event or two happening, like that is max. So I remember explaining to a friend like, oh, we're not doing this weekend because we're already doing this and this. And I was like, oh, are we keeping ourselves small? And I'm like, wait a second, why would I even think that? We already have 2 things going on. Why would I think that? I'm here today to lovingly remind you, because I needed it myself, that it is okay to say no to things. And yes to you. So I said no to something that I could have probably learned something from. And at the same time, I said yes to me, my date with myself. It's so easy to have that in the calendar and then be like, is it really worth it to like miss this other thing? And I'm here to say, heck yes, it's worth it. It is so worth taking time for you. Now, life happens. And this is why I've been taking my Mondays to myself. Because as a mom, and even just in general, life is happening. I had it once where I was going to have the weekend to myself. The kids and my husband were going away for the weekend. But then my oldest got sick. It wasn't like super sick, but like a pretty deep cough. And they needed to stay home and get better. And even then they're like, no, Mom, you're so excited to have the house to yourself for the weekend. I'm like, it's okay. We have to pivot sometimes, and that is totally okay. So yes, life happens, and sometimes things are just out our control. A child gets sick, something happens, things like that. Can't control, things in your life. They're flowing and it's happening. However, you get the opportunity to say yes to the things that light you up, and no, those are within your control most of the time. So I'm just here today to remind you, because like I said, I was finding myself in that habit because it was so easy a while back where I didn't have to say no to anything because there wasn't anything to say no to. And actually it felt really good because there wasn't this need to be like busy all the time. And now I feel that everything's kind of flowing again. I like to use the word normal, right? Life is back to normal. Yet I feel it's on overdrive even more than it was before. Now that might be because my kids are getting older and they're more in more activities. But it's like there's activities at school and there's this and that. And it's just taking some time to really think about things and what you need to. Because life can just take you on a ride and you just got to hang on tight and hope that you land on your feet. Or you can just pause a little bit, hit those brakes, and think about what direction you want to take your life, because you can be in control of which direction you're heading. The crazy fast lane, or, the like cruising down, the side of the ocean, the highways that go along the ocean. Anyways, you get to choose what your life looks like. And then I'd like to add too that this can be challenging at times depending on who you're hanging out with. Because I know for me, I used to have a hard time saying no to things. And then eventually I got better and better. But then now I'm finding it's like, oh, should I be saying yes to more things? Like, I'm questioning myself. And it's always good to question yourself. But it needs to come from a place of love, not looking and comparing at what other people are doing. Because I have to constantly remind myself that I need something and other people might need something different. I like a lot of alone time. It's when I really get to be creative. I get to hear my own thoughts. And I really just tap into this well of just awesome inspiration. So if I'm going, I have nothing to tap into. But that's not for everybody. And I've really had to just be loving with myself. Being an introvert. I like to say introvert, extrovert. But what I'm learning is that sometimes introverts like to be social, but they really need time alone. So it really depends on what kind of definition you're looking for. But I really do need a lot of alone time just to fill my own cup up. So if you're like, oh, but Jody, like I just can't say no. I just want you to think about this for just a second. Think about your cell phone. The more you use it, the faster the battery drains. So if you're constantly on go, 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 when are you recharging your own battery? It's actually funny. I charge my phone when I'm relaxing at night. And it's kind of like, I don't do it on purpose. I just really just thought of it as I was sharing this, that I relax in the evening and I charge my phone. And then usually by the time I'm done relaxing, my phone's fully charged as well. And it really is kind of, it's just awesome. Anyways, you have to look at you and see how much you need to recharge and being mindful because everybody's different. I think back to before I got a new phone and my old one wouldn't hold a charge very long. So I'd have to be charging it every few hours. So think about like if you're really busy and you're going, or maybe you're not, but like your activities that you do for yourself don't actually charge you up, then you're running on low a lot. And would we ever let our cell phones get low? Maybe you would. I don't know. I don't like getting mine down to a certain point. Like I think when it gets to 30 or even 40, I'm like, ooh, maybe I should plug you in. Usually they don't get down that long because I don't use my phone too often throughout the day. But sometimes I do if I'm playing a lot of music on it. Anyways, so think about that. Kind of place yourself as your cell phone and just think about how much energy you put out day in, day out. And what are you doing to recharge yourself? And this can look in so many different ways for so many different people. This can be going for a walk in nature, yoga, meditating, and just so many things like acts of service. Like when we do selfless service, that too can fill us up. So it doesn't always have to be alone time. And it really depends on who you are and what fills you up. Like this alone is a different conversation. And I have another episode somewhere about different things that you can do because everybody is different. What I do for downtime or recharge time will look different than you maybe. Like I love reading a lot of books, getting out in nature. I just went to the beach yesterday and it's just being by water really recharges me. But also when I'm around people, it's not even a lot of people because I'm not surrounded by that many people. But even spending a lot of time with my children, I do need downtime. I love them to pieces, but I still need just my own quiet time. Even when my sister visited, like afterwards, I'm like, okay, I just need a couple days now to recharge. Not because she drained my energy in a negative way. It's just because I put more energy out because, I loved having her visit. So it's just finding that happy balance. And sometimes we do things that we absolutely love, but they can still take our energy. So being mindful of energy out versus energy in. And no, I'm not talking about dieting and exercise. I'm talking about your own body energy, like just your own being, right? So just think about that and just know that it's okay to say no. And I too have some times where I'm like, okay, am I saying no to the right things and saying yes to the right things? So just doing a check-in. Because the last thing I want to do is hold myself back or even hold my children back. So it's like, okay, why am I making these decisions? So it's going inward instead of saying no to something to be like an excuse, right? Because it's so easy to make excuses like, oh, I just don't feel like doing that because maybe it's fear. But it's just doing a quick check-in. But honestly, this episode right now is about making sure that you know it's okay to say no when your plate is getting full. Heck, man, when you want your plate empty. Because there is so much out there. And if you try to do it all, you are going to left not being able to do anything because you'll have no energy to do anything at all. I hope this has helped. And I'm just sending you so much love. I too have struggled to say no. So if that's you, it's okay. And it's doing little baby steps. Ask yourself, why can't I say no? Like, what's going on there? Where did I learn that I have to do this or I should do this? And go from there. And just send yourself some love. Do little things for you. And if you can't say no to things right now, try your best to just say yes to more things that light you up. It's little baby steps. This is not a all or nothing kind of deal. It can take time to slowly find your way again. But if you're one of those people that felt relaxed and comfortable when you didn't have to say no to anything because things were shut down and you're like, relieved, you felt relieved, and now you're feeling overwhelmed and burnt out again because your plate's full again, just be aware of that and start making small little changes to help balance things out a little bit more. Because it definitely could be hard to say no, especially when you don't want to let people down. The only thing is you got to remember you're going to let somebody down at some point because you're just going to be so tired because you're not filling yourself up. And this is a conversation I've talked about so much. I haven't talked about it for a long time, but like I said, it showed up for me today and I'm like, I really want to share this because I think it's really important that I think we might have lost sight of again because for a while there, we did get to just relax and fill ourselves up. So I don't think it's being talked about again enough anymore. And just know that you matter. Your energy matters and what you love to do matters. So try today to fit something in that you love to do. That's even listen to music you love while doing the dishes, like dance away in the kitchen while making supper or whatever it is. Going for a walk. Again, I'm naming off things that I love to do. So what do you love to do? Write some stuff down today. What popped into your head when I was explaining this or mentioning this? What like ahas or anything showed up? Write it down. Maybe it's something you've been putting off. Maybe it's the thing you did all the time when things were shut down because you had free time. I think this world's a lot more stressed out now than it was a few years ago. And even though like it was hard times, I think we've kind of boomeranged the wrong direction into like even more we're in turbo speed here now, I feel like personally, and I'm living in a chilled environment. So if I'm feeling it over here on the coast, I don't even want to know what it feels like in the city. I'm sending you so much love. Thank you so much for showing up. And the cool thing is you did show up for you today. You're listening to this. Even if you're multitasking and listening to this while doing the dishes or cleaning or walking or whatever, you're taking time for you. Congratulations. And that is so awesome. So anyways, start saying yes to more things that light you up and no to the things that are just taking up your time. Take care. Bye for now.